Good morning, coaches. Today we're going to talk about a few simple RPOs that can be used at the high school level. Actually, these RPOs can be used at any level, coaches. These are very simple for the quarterback, very simple for your kids to execute. We're just looking for one read. We want our quarterback to be able to look at one read, a real simple read. So we read either outside linebackers or first linebacker inside the box or flat defenders. Our very first read, though, coach, is always going to be the box. If we have numbers in the box, normally we will give the football. We do put it on the quarterback to make the right decision, and we will live with those decisions that he makes because we're allowing him to do that. It's not going to be pretty at times, but the more reps and the more you work it with your quarterbacks, coaches, that they begin to get it, and it's becomes second nature to them. We've been running RPOs since 2013. Before they were pretty much just package plays, and we still just package plays together. Where we're just reading the box and basically numbers on the perimeter. But here in the past few years, we've kind of upped it a little bit. So what I'm going to show you today is going to be some simple RPOs that we use and have used in the past few years. If you like them, take them with you, install them. Some of you guys might not be RPO guys, but just something for you to look at, something for clinic season. I hope everybody had a great season and improved, and some of you guys might have won state championships. My hat's off to you. I know we all keep working and trying to get there and better our kids. But we're going to get started here. On this play right here, coaches, what we're doing is we're going to motion to trio, and we're going to see if we can outflank and out-leverage them a little bit and gain numbers. You can tell they're 3 over 3 at the top of the screen here. So I'm going to try to even that with motion. Okay, so I motion over, all right, and now you can see that we have 3 on 3, okay, so our read, coaches, is going to be this guy right here. So we're going to read that flat defender. Okay, so what we're doing on the snap now, first off, we've looked at the box. Now we look at the box. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're even in the box. But the quarterback likes the matchup out here on where this route is about to happen. Coaches, so we're going to influence that flat defender by the bubble right here, okay? So we're going to bubble him and see if he gets eyes on that bubble. If he does, then it's going to be an automatic throw to this guy right here where he's going to sit and replace him. Okay, very simple read. Okay, and what we'll do here is we're going to carry these guys down through here. Okay, so he's going to go vertical. Actually, it's vertical to post. Depending on how they play it. Normally, coaches, you're not going to throw the outside route on this play. The go route. It's possible you could, but we never have. We either hit the bubble or we hit the little snag sit route right here. We'll look at it, okay, and see what you think. All right, again, so he's just going to kind of put him in conflict, and you can tell he replaced him. Okay, he replaced him. Oop, went a little too far there. Okay, so as he goes across, gain motion, or motion to gain numbers. All right, and he's just going to sit and replace him right there. Again, coaches, very simple RPO, nothing complicated. Just a simple read for your quarterback, just reading flat defenders like he does on some of your quick passing game and things like that. Nothing really changes for the progression of the quarterback as far as reading that flat defender. Okay, coaches, on the next one we're going to look at, we're going to be in a spread set. And you can tell that in the box, they pretty much got them all in the box. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the box, and the safety walks down. So this one's pretty simple for the quarterback. We're going to run inside zone with this. And what we've got is we've got the bubble attached with it. Very simple RPO, coaches, and on this one, all we're reading is basically we're reading the box and we're trying to see, do we have numbers, which obviously it's a little packed in there. So the simple read is going to be to throw the bubble here for the quarterback. He's going to know that pre-snap. There's not going to be any post-snap here. This is automatic. Throw the bubble. And what we'd seen in the game, coaches, is this guy right here had not been very aggressive on our bubble, so we knew that we'd be able to throw it out there because he's kind of going to backpedal or take a step back when we throw this bubble. Corner's not coming very hard. It's an easy block. So we're going to roll it and we'll watch it as it goes. Again, coach, it's very simple right there. Inside zone, probably could have gave it. Looks like we've got, we got a cut right here if we'd have seen it. But quarterback already had his mind made up. And again, coaches, that's what you have to live with if you're allowing your quarterback to do this. And I'm okay with this because we had it either way. The kid throwing this right here went on to play college football and has done very well. Very successful kid. He got it. But what I like about when we did this, coach, we got the now screen at the bottom down here, so we could have threw either way if we wanted to. But, some of you coaches are going to say, well, you've got linemen downfield, close to being downfield, but a lot of people forget that if the ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage, it doesn't matter. But again, I'm going to roll it, coach. A very simple read here, very simple to do with your quarterback. Not a lot of thinking involved here, just counting the box and finding your grass or your numbers on the perimeter. Again, we're going to toss it out there. Not a huge gain, not an explosive play, coaches, but eventually what that does is it empties the box, and it allows us to run the football in there by getting all these guys out of the box. It doesn't have to be flashy, it doesn't have to be explosive. I see coaches all the time talking about, RPOs have to be explosive, they have to be explosive plays. And I agree with that in sense, in hindsight, but coaches don't have to be explosive. I mean, you can open up things with RPOs just by throwing the little bubble screen out there, running the inside zone with it. Not every RPO is going to go for 70 yards. We've had some do that, but, in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't happen often for us. I mean, if we can get 7, 8, 10, occasionally 15 yards, coaches, we're okay with that, and that helps us open that box because we really want to run the football. We're a spread power running team, but these RPOs allow us to get people out of the box and not let them sit there and hang in the box so much on us. Okay, coaches, again, this is going to be the same game that we just saw the clip from before. This is actually on the same drive. This is about 2 plays later. Again, we're kind of getting the same look that we had before. They're still packing them in the box. So again, we're going to go right back, coaches, to the bubble up there towards the boundary to their sideline. Coaches, I find a lot of hidden yards in the boundary. My head coach here at this school, I used to drive him insane because I throw it in the boundary, and of course he's a defensive guy and he didn't like it as much. But a lot of hidden yards in the boundary, coaches. If they're going to give you that, I know we're in the middle of the field here. But it's going to go towards the boundary. But even if we were on the hash, coaches, I've thrown the now screen into the boundary, tunnel screen into the boundary. Again, a lot of hidden yards, not a lot of room over there, but a lot of hidden yards can be found in that boundary. I'm going to roll it here and let you look at it. Again, we're real simple. We're reading the box. We already know pre-snap with this guy's alignment and depth that we're going to have the bubble. As you can tell, if you look at my quarterback right now, coaches, his eyes are looking. He's looking right here to see what kind of grass, what kind of leverage we have on that cap. And he makes a great read right here. And I just talked about explosive plays and RPOs. This one will be an explosive play for us. Again, we don't get many of them off the RPO. We get enough to keep people worried about it, but this is a good example right here. Again, we're going with the inside zone. As you can tell, if we'd have went with the inside zone, we didn't block it up very well. This team actually overpowered us little bit in the box. A big 4A team that we played, very good in the box, and we had to get the ball out on the perimeter. As you can tell right now, coaches, he's on the hash. He's stuck on the hash. We're bubbling away from him. He's got a long way to run to try to get to that bubble to make a tackle. Again, we got the now screen at the bottom of the screen. Could have went that way, possibly. This cat's a little closer. He's a little closer to being a threat. So we take the bubble at the top of the screen. And again, we block it. Very nice block right there. Now I know this kid, he comes down hard, but his angle's not very good. That's just that's something we'll take. We're going to put you one-on-one with somebody. You're going to have to make them miss. And our slot receiver right here did a good job of getting outside and reading the block and getting up the sideline. Again, that right there, coaches, is a explosive play off the RPO for us. Again, we're not looking for that. When we run RPOs, we're looking just to put one defender in conflict and try to force you to empty the box a little bit and let us be able to run the ball. And if you don't, we will obviously throw out here and do some things. But again, that's an explosive play for us on the RPO. Okay, coaches, the next one we're going to look at is going to be the inside zone with the now screen. The team you see on the screen, coach, is a very good 4A team, we're now 3A team in the mountains here in western North Carolina. They're actually playing for the state championship Saturday at Duke. So they've been there a few times. Very good team, very physical team. So we had to find ways to try to outflank them a little bit and do some things to them and try to get some leverage and try to move the ball. We do a lot of motions and shifts, coaches. Some of you guys that follow me on Twitter know that we shift and motion, trade tight ends and wings a lot, and do a lot of that stuff to try to gain leverage and just a little window dressing. So here we decided we were going to line up in tight, 2x2 tight or spread tight, and shift out of it to normal spread, just to try to widen out, see who emptied the box. So I'll roll it so you can see that getting ready to happen. So here we go. We go out. They empty a little bit, and now we're looking to see what we got. So we're going to have inside zone to the boundary here, coaches. We're going to have the now two now screens. So we're running now at the top and now at the bottom. In the box, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the box. To our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could have, we could have run it here, coaches, if we wanted to. The problem was we didn't move them very well in the box, so we had to. We struggled running the ball against them. Like again, very good team. So let's look, see what happens. We're going to roll it, and what we preach out here on the perimeter, and you're going to see it on this. If we're going to throw these now screens and do these RPO stuff and things, and we've got to be physical on the perimeter. And this block right here by our tight end, our flex tight end here, is going to show you that we do block physically on the perimeter, and we preach that. So I'm going to roll it. Let's look at it here. Again, we got inside zone. To the boundary, not a bad job. One of the better ones here, coaches. We could have gave it, as you can tell. He had a nice little seam right here. If we get this block right here, but again, we talked about it early. You live with it with a quarterback when you allow him to have these options. Again, this kid pulling the trigger for us threw for over 6,000 yards in his career. So I don't question too much about what he did in his decision making. He did a very good job for us. Again, so what we're going to see is a nice physical block here on the corner who's coming down hard to get the now screen. What I want to point out too is it's a nice job by receiver here. Went a little too far. Sorry, coaches. Nice job by receiver here, doing a very good job of getting back. See how he took the one step forward. Now he's going to get back and allowing this block to come underneath him, coaches, to block this corner. And again, here's your physical block right there. Again, he got in the way, and then we finish it physically on the run at the sticks. Again, coaches, that's a very simple RPO. I mean, you can even say that's day one RPO. But what I'm trying to get at with this video is, coaches, I see a lot of flash. I see a lot of down the field throws, RPOs. I see just all this crazy stuff. And what I'm trying to get at, coaches, RPOs don't have to be complicated. And I see, Lincoln Riley, all these college coaches, and they do a great job, and they got players that can do these kind of things. And don't get me wrong, because they do a great job. Great coaches, great concepts if you have those type of players. Coaches, if you have average players at the high school level, if you don't have one guy that you can throw it to and he can outrun the rest, then you've got to do a little thinking, and you've got to be able to find ways to out leverage teams and put your kids in winnable situations. And that's my opinion. That's my philosophy on my offense and how we run things. I'm not saying you're wrong if you do it another way. I'm just saying a lot of people don't have 4-3 guys lined up in the slots that can take it to the house every time you throw it to them. So got to be a little creative. Got to be able to nickel and dime down the field some and be good play calls. Put your kids in good situations. All right, coaches, and this one right here, this is our number one RPO for the past 2 years. We've been fortunate enough the past 2 years to have great running quarterbacks. They've each thrown for over 1,000 and run for the year before last year. Our quarterback ran for almost 2,000 yards. This year our quarterback ran for about 1,800 yards and threw for 1,000. So we've been blessed with some mobile quarterbacks the past 2 years. Very simple RPO here, coaches. We run a lot of Q sweep, so this was our answer a year ago to a lot of teams trying to take away the sweep, so we decided to turn it into an RPO. This is the one variation of it, the very simple variation of it. Again, we're in trio stack to the top of your screen here. You can tell they're right now they're kind of in trouble because they've got 2 over 3 over here. I don't count him because he's a mile away from him. He's not even on the hash. He's basically, to us, he's in the middle of the field. So he's not a threat. So if we're running sweep, obviously we're going that way. Our tailback's going to lead, and we run our sweep, coaches. It's basically like pin and pull. That's how we teach it. That's how we install it. Again, this is a very simple RPO, and our read, coaches, that we're just going to read that guy right there. All right, so he's coming out. All right, so he's going to try to help seal this edge. All right, so we're pinning, we're pulling around. Okay, so we're going to read that one guy, and what we tell our quarterback is you run until somebody stops you. All right, if they don't stop you, then you run to daylight, you run till they tackle you. Again, it's very simple RPO. And if you run a lot of Q sweep, it's stealing. I mean, it really is, because once they see sweep, they're sweep coming at them. They're trying to get to the sweep. They're trying to get to that quarterback. And again, it's easy money. I'm going to roll it here and take a look at it. All right, so you can tell. Here we go. All right, so we pin them, we pull them. All right, so we've got coming to the party right now, coaches, is we've got 1, 2, 3. All right, he's going to step inside right here, and this might be a bad clip. I didn't watch it before I put it up here, but he's not supposed to touch him. Unless the only way he touches him, coaches, is if our quarterback tries to bounce out, he's got to be there to try to help seal it. But the true RPO way, the way we should be doing this, coaches, is he should be working up to that safety right there. And he does. Very good job. He doesn't touch him, coaches, and he works up to that safety. But went a little too far. Okay, so we're going to run it here. Again, I'll let you look at it. So here we go. We're coming out. Boom, he acts like he's going to crack. Okay, but then he just works his way up to the safety. Okay, so again, our quarterback thought everybody vacated the area over here and left the bubble all by itself. So he just said, hey, this is easy money. I'm going to throw it, and we're going to get what we can get. Not a very good throw, a little high, good catch, good run after the catch. But again, coaches, that's a very simple RPO. Again, that's been our number one RPO for the past 2 years. It's nothing fancy, nothing crazy for your quarterback or your personnel. Basically, it's taking one of your plays or one of our plays and just marrying it with the bubble, which has been a great concept for us for the past 5 years. So again, what I'm trying to get at with this video, coaches, is RPOs don't have to be crazy. They don't have to be extravagant. I mean, simple stuff right there, it puts a lot of pressure on the defense to have to worry about a couple of things, and that's something they got to work on during the week. You can't just walk out there and play it. You've got a lot of things coming at you, so you've got to work on it during the week. All right, coaches, here's another look at the Q sweep RPO. This time we've got a little different look. We're going to be in spread stack. And we're basically going to run a bubble here to the boundary with it, coaches. And he's going to hesitate a little bit. He's going to run the bubble and kind of just sit over here. Again, they're 2-on-2 out there. We've got them spread out pretty well. We're trying to attack this area right here, coaches. So our read on this one, again, for our quarterback, it's going to be this guy right here. So we're going to try to read him. And if he flies out or flies at us, then he's going to try to turn it up and try to get yards on the ground. If these guys bail and he sees it automatic, then we can throw the bubble over here. Coach B does a great job on this one, finding the hole on our Q sweep and just getting vertical and getting gone. Again, when I talk about explosive plays in our RPOs, we don't have many. Here's another one. This is coming by the feet of the Q, though. He does a great job on this one. I'm going to roll it here a little bit in slow-mo so we can watch it. Again, we're going to pull on the sweep. Here we go. All right, so you can tell as they both came down. He comes down to play it. Okay, actually he tries to get outside. I'm sorry, he tries to get outside, try to seal that edge, keep us from getting outside. And right now, coaches, he could have thrown this right now. But what he's eyeing is this hole right here. There's a nice seam right here that we've created with our O-line, and they've done a bad job. They're trying to get outside hard as they can to try to keep us from running the sweep. We've already run the sweep a few times in this game, and you can tell we're only on play 15. We've already ran the sweep a couple times and got good yardage off of it. So they're flying hard trying to stop that sweep, and he's going to find a nice little crease right there, and that's all it takes, coaches. Just a nice little crease, nice little hole for him to get vertical and get in it, and he does a great job. But again, what I want you to see is if he's got eyes up and he sees that guy flying, which he does what he's supposed to do, he does a great job because that guy flies over the top trying to take the sweep away from him, but what he sees is that nice little seam again. But if he's got eyes up and he's looking and he doesn't see anything, we could have thrown the bubble right now. He's got the arm to throw that over there. That's why we put it in this way, because we ran it a few times in practice to see if he could do it, and he did a great job. But what I like about it is the vision in the run game. He doesn't bail out on the run game. It's not an automatic throw. A lot of RPOs I see is just, basically coaches are telling their kids, we want the throw off of it. We want the throw. We don't want the throw. We want to run. We basically want the run off of it. And again, this is a great example of what happens when you're successful throwing the ball outside a little bit or running outside. Coaches, I mean, they're trying to get outside to stop that sweep, and what they're doing is they leave a nice little crease. All right, and he gets in it, and he's off. Now, he doesn't score. We're not that fast. But again, that's explosive play. That's down in their territory, and we got a great chance of punching it in from there. Again, I go back, and the whole reason I'm doing this video, coaches, is for to show how simple RPOs can be. Again, I see a lot of stuff that, and I'm not talking about it's bad stuff, but you've got to have certain players to be able to run some of the stuff that we see on Saturdays and even on Friday nights. I see a lot of coaches. I mean, they got great athletes, they got great players, but I don't try to overcomplicate things. I think less is more, and the simpler is better for us. I want my kids to be able to play fast. I don't want them to slow down. I don't want them to have to think too much. I don't want to put too much on my quarterback. I put enough on him, just enough, so I can keep teams honest. And basically, I want him to be a play caller out there on the field like I'm a play caller in the box for him. I want him to see things the way I see it. And I feel that with our RPO game, we do a great job of allowing our kids to be successful with it, with simple reads and just adding simple stuff to what we already do. Coaches, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Again, nothing spectacular, just simple RPOs that can be run at the high school level for you to be successful in your season. And I wish you all the best of luck. If you have any questions, you can contact me through Twitter. It's at Slade, SLADE 248. I'll be happy to talk to you there. If you have any other questions, you want to email me, it's slade248@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions for you. Again, coaches, thank you for taking the time for watching the video, and God bless.